Good day and welcome to Chess Corner. In today's game, we have a game from FIDE candidates. This is actually round one. And in today's game, we have a game from Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana against Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura. FIDE candidates will basically determine who will be the challenger for the World Championship, who's going to face Grandmaster Ding Liren. Well, let's get right into it. So in this game, we have e4 by Fabi. Then we have c5 by Hikaru. We have knight f3, we have d6, d4, capture on d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, and now we have knight c3. So we have the Sicilian opening on the board. Now here we have e5 on the board. Not the most common one because usually the play here is a6. You can also go like knight c6, even e6 is also playable. But anyway, we have e5. Now we have check on d5. So we have knight to d7. And since the knight is actually under attack, so you need to move it with knight f5, putting pressure on this pawn on d6 now. So here we have only like a6, so attacking the bishop. And usually you can capture this, but this plays bishop a4. We have b5 again, attacking the bishop one more time. So we have bishop b3 now. Now in this position, since this is actually under attack, you really need to react in this position. So how can you defend that d6 via playing knight c5? And also it attacks the bishop on b3 as well as this pawn on e4. The pawn on e4 is actually attacked twice already, so we have bishop d5 not allowing the capture on e4 because the knight is actually pinned. So here we have bishop takes f5, capture on f5 now. We have bishop e7, bishop takes f6, and then we have bishop to f6. We have castle only, and now we have e4. This is actually a good move because the main threat here is basically probably he will capture this bishop takes c3 and then ruining the pawn structure, and you really can't attack this pawn on e4 because the knight is actually in a good outpost. But here we have knight e4. Excellent move, actually a brilliant move. And it looks like white is actually giving a piece, but if you're gonna capture, there's always like a pin here. So here we have capture. Now rook e1 pinning the knight. So you need to castle. And now we have rook takes d5, bishop takes b2, rook b1. Now we have bishop to f6. So if we're gonna evaluate the position, it looks like let's count the pawn that we have here. We have 3, 4, 5, 6 for white. 6 for black, and it's actually opposite bishop. So most of the time, if it's opposite bishop, especially on a grandmaster level like this, usually it's a draw. But here we have queen to d5, putting pressure on f7, as well as this on d6. So here we have rook to c8 only. Probably the idea is to go rook c5, attacking this pawn on f5. So here we have queen to b7, so attacking this pawn on e6. And in this position, if you want to play like passive, you can go like rook to um, a8. But of course, you gotta don't want to do it. He plays rook c5. There's a counter on f5. So we have queen takes a6, rook takes f5. We have rook to d1 again, putting pressure on this pawn on d6. So you can still defend it by playing d5, attacking the rook. Although you cannot capture it right away because there will be a capture here on d8. So here we have rook to d4, attacking the pawn again on d5 one more time. So here we have bishop to c3. Not the best continuation as per computer evaluation here. The suggestion is actually queen e7, queen c7 is also threat. But anyway, we have bishop c3. So here we have capture on b5. And now in this position, Hikaru actually played rook takes f2. So what is the idea behind rook takes f2? Let's say, for example, we did capture here, king takes f2. Now in this position, as you can see, black just basically sacrifice the rook. Yeah, but of course there are several checks in the position. We have queen to f6, queen h4. So here, queen h4 would be the best move to check. And of course, the only move is probably king g1. If you go king g1, there will be like bishop d4 with a check. And if you're gonna capture, then it will be checkmate in one. So here, the only way is king h1, and then after king h1, bishop e5 is the continuation. So attacking this, and it will be checkmated. So here, the only way is to go g3. But after g3, then it's gonna be queen e4, queen e4, and then queen e4. Black has to go king g1. So after king g1, then queen e3 or bishop d4 again, and there's a lot of resource for black, and it should be a draw if that's gonna happen. Well, let's go back. So we have rook takes d5 anyway after rook takes f2. But here we have queen h4 still by Hikaru. So now we have queen d3. After queen d3, putting pressure on this bishop on c3. Um, we have rook to f6 now, and if you're gonna capture this, let's say queen takes c3 in this position, then it will be queen f2, and it will be checkmate again. So here, let's go back. So that one is not possible. So here we only have after rook f6, we have g3, the best move. And then after g3, we only have queen b4, the only move in the position. So here we have king g2, and now we have bishop to b2. So here we have rook f5, not the best continuation as per computer evaluation. Let's go back a bit. Here the suggestion is just to go a4, even rook d7, but maybe Bobby's trying to simplify the game here. So here we only have rook f5, but now g6. So putting pressure on this rook. So we have capture on f6, bishop takes f6 now, and now we have queen to f3, attacking the bishop. So here we only have, we basically have option to go king e7, but king e7, you're allowing rook d7. But here, you got to have queen e7. That's a good move because that stops the rook d7 idea. So here we have a4, king g7 now. Now we have a5, and then rook a8. Again, another brilliant move here. And if you're gonna capture, let's say capture, there will be a check, attacking the king and the rook again. And there's always like a perpetual because the king is not really safe in this position. So here we have rook d5, rook a7 only. So, you know, attacking this pawn still, putting pressure. So here we have rook d5 only, and then we have queen to d8. Now it's attacked twice. And now in this position, we only have rook to d5 again. Queen c7 happens, still putting pressure on this pawn on e5. But now we have h4, rook takes a5, rook takes a5, and then queen takes a5. So here we have queen b7. Again, one last trick here. It's actually a check. So there's no way for black to basically defend. But let's see. Here we have queen d8 only. So queen takes f7 with a check. But now king h6. So still, it still is drawish because it's like opposite bishop, and it's very hard for white to make progress here. So here we have king h3 only, but now queen e7. So challenging the queen. Once exchange, then it's going to be an easy draw for black here. So here we have queen c4, and now we have queen e3. And in this position, they both agree for a draw. It's actually drawish because, like I said, white can't make progress. And as you can see, you cannot really push the pawn because the bishop and the queen is actually pointing at this direction. At the same time, you really need to make sure that your king will not be checkmated in this position. Well, that's our game for today. Well, I hope you like it, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching Chess Corner. Bye bye now.